Good evening students. Today our topic is selection. Now in this topic I am going to explain about what is selection, what is the process of selection, what are the essentials and the importance of selection. Now before discussing about the topic selection, let us have a brief review of what we have discussed in the previous video, that is recruitment. And there are generally certain factors are going to affect the recruitment process. We have discussed in the earlier classes. Those factors are size of the market, image of the company, place of posting, nature of job, compensation package. All these are the different factors. And these factors are going to influence the job aspirants to respond to the recruiting efforts of a company. Basically, by looking at these factors, we are going to apply for the company's advertisements or company's notifications. So those are the host of factors which influence the recruitment. Now, through recruitment, we locate the prospective employees and encourage them. So we are going to find out the prospective, the future employees, and we are encouraging them to apply. Hence, recruitment provides a pool of applications or applicants for a selection. Right, it is correct. So if we are getting the pool of applicants, the number of applications we are getting, out of those applications, the applicant which is suitable for us, the applicant who is having proper competency or skills, those applicants or those aspirants will be selected for our company. And we can also say that recruitment is a negative process, positive process. Selection is a negative process. Now, coming to selection, what is selection? Selection means to choose. We know that selection means to choose. In the selection process, we are going to choose the best employees, or we are going to choose the best employees, we are going to choose the skilled employees. Coming to the definition, selection refers to the process by which qualified applicants are selected by means of various tests in predetermined numbers out of large number of applications or applicants. So here we got a pool of applicants. Out of those pool of applicants, we have to select a qualified applicants or suitable applicants. Now those suitable applicants will be selected through various tests or through various processes. Now in the next slides we are going to discuss about what are the different processes and what are the different tests and what are the different interviews that are going to be conducted in order to select the best candidate for our organization. So hence, once again I'll repeat that recruitment is a positive process, but selection is a negative process because under it efforts are made to reduce the number of applicants. See, we don't need the people. Suppose in your organization HR recruitments, HR vacancies are there. If people of marketing or finance you receive, you need not necessarily to appoint them. So you are going to screen out them. You are reducing the number of applicants. So hence we can say it is a negative process. Now coming to the definition of selection, it is a process which a candidate for employment are divided into two classes, those who are to be offered employment and those who are not. Coming to the definition, there are many definitions of selection. In this slide I have put one definition, and this definition focuses on the process where a candidate who approached for employment will be divided into two sections or two classes or two groups, that who are offered employment and who are not offered employment. Who offered employment in the sense these people are suitable for our organization. Who have not offered for employment means they are not suitable, they are not quantifiable for our organization. The selection process can be defined as a process of selection and shortlisting of the right candidate with the necessary qualifications and skill set to fill the vacancies in organization. So the same definition, this definition will also explain how we are shortlisting the right candidates. So a right candidate at right place, at right time, at right position is the most important concept of the organization decision making. So in order to take a right person, we have to shortlist the different candidates, the different aspirants. And the next slide it explains about the significance of selection process. Usually the selection process varies from one industry to another industry. It differs from one company to another company. and even among us from one department to another department. Because suppose if ours is a small scale industry which is located in one area or one region, we need not to go for a vast selection process or the recruitment drive. Suppose your company is MNC, obviously you need to go for a vast recruitment process, choosing people from across the globe. So obviously depending upon the scale of operations of the industry, your recruitment, your selection varies. Simultaneously, basing on the department wise, suppose marketing and sales, they need more people compared to the HR and finance. So depending upon the operations of the department, depending upon the activities of the department and the dynamism of the department also, the selection process varies. The second point explains that every organization creates a selection process because depending upon their own requirements. What I told in the first point, that from industry to industry, depending upon the size of its operations, its scale of operations, its location wise operations, the requirements varies. So basing on the requirements, we we are going to plan, we are sorting out, we designed a selection process. However, the steps are one and the same, but how they are conducting the selection procedure, how they are following the selection procedure varies from one industry to another industry. Now this slide explains the basic steps in the selection procedure. The basic steps like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 steps here. I'll explain one by one. The first step is preliminary interview. The second one is receiving applications. The third one is selection test. Fourth, employment interview. Fifth, medical examination. Sixth, reference check. And the last one is final selection or giving appointment letters. Now, preliminary interview. See, my dear students, before preliminary interview, there was a reception. Now, you people will be approaching the reception. So, at the reception, they are going to clarify whatever the doubts you are having, right? Every company, every industry will have a reception where they receive you and they will explain, they clarify your doubts, right? In the first step, that is the preliminary interview. So again, I have given another slide slow also, where the same steps have been explained by me, like preliminary interview, receiving applications, screening of applications, employment test. If you observe in this slide, from employment test to till medical examination, you can be rejected at any stage if found unsuitable. If you found unsuitable, if you are not suitable for the employment, you will be rejected in any of these tests, in any of these stages. Whereas above 3 stages there is no rejection, right? Now we'll go for again in detail. What is a preliminary interview? Preliminary interview, as the name suggests, initial interview. Initial interview, what you do in the initial interview, you just ask the candidate his name, his age, his qualifications, his gender, etc., right? His taste, his habits. So obviously preliminary interview also have an object. That object is whether the person is physically or mentally fit for the job. Just by looking at the candidate, you can see that yes, this candidate is physically fit for the job. By talking to him, by interacting with him, you came to know that he is mentally fit for the job. So what you do during the preliminary interview is you are asking questions to the candidates. Just now I told you about their experience, education, taste, etc. So by that you came to a conclusion that this person is possessing some kind of knowledge. In the same way, this is very general interview conducted so as to eliminate the candidate who are completely unfit to work in the organization. So by just initial interaction itself, you came to know what is the attitude of this person. Is this person possessing the positive or the negative attitude? Suppose if the person is having negative attitude at the preliminary interview itself, you can come to a decision that this person is unfit to my job, this person is unfit to my position. There you can reject him, right? That is the reason preliminary interview will be conducted. The second step is blank application form. Now see, my dear student, this is an application form filled by the companies. Every company, every industry will have a form, a blank form, where by just entering into the interview, by just entering into the organization, at the reception counter itself, you will be given a blank application form and you will be asked to fill the blank application form. So this form being printed by the organization, and this form varies from one organization to another organization and from one post to another post. Suppose for finance manager, the details required will be different from the marketing manager. In the same way, from marketing to HR. So, basing on the post, basing on the objectives and functions of the post, responsibilities of the post, the application form will be filled. Right? Now, the next point is, while preparing these form, the organizations has to keep in mind two things. They should convey maximum possible information. Just by filling that application form, the organization or the interviewer should get the maximum information from that applicant itself. And next one is, questions should be directly related to the post. There should not be any indirect questions. Now I have given another slide. In another slide, a detailed information what you have to insert, what you have to write on the blank application form. It is a structured interview in which questions are standardized. They are standardized questions. They are not out of the box questions. They are not intellectual. They are not going to see your intellectuality in the preliminary interview and the application blank. They are just direct questions like what is the age, gender, marital status, height and weight, education details, languages known to the candidate, details of previous job, average earnings, and reasons for quitting the previous job, hobbies, salary expectations. So all these are the points. All these are the self-explainable points. These are the common points. Every aspirant should have a knowledge over these points, should have a command over these points, and he can able to write down on this application blank. The next slide is selection and employment test. The next process, once you fill the application blank, that application will be carried out, will be taken over from you to the inside of the room. That is, it reaches to the interviewer. Then what will happen, some tests will be conducted for you. And these tests are called as employment test. And these are also called as selection test. And before explaining, I can also tell you that, see, nowadays, if you want to get a job in Power Grid, you need to write exams conducted by AP Transco, AP Genco, or AP Power Sector, or Indian Power Sector. In the same way, if you want to become an employee in the railways will conduct, RRB will conduct. If you want to get a job in banks, IBPS is conducting the jobs. So each and every organization will conduct certain tests, certain jobs, certain exams, right? Employment tests are devices, but here in the process of interview, these tests are different. In order to get a job, you are writing a test. You are writing a test among the different different applicants will write the test, and after qualification, after reaching to the interview, these tests are different. Employment tests are devices to check the real knowledge of candidate for the respective job. So here we are going to check out whether the candidate is having the knowledge or not. And these tests also helpful to the management, the right person for the job. Now these selection tests, there are so many selection tests. I would like to say one thing here. And here in the selection test, not only a direct question will be asked in the exams, like what is the selection, what is the process of selection. Sometimes not only asking about the process, a question will be raised like, a question will be asked like, define selection and what are the different types of selection tests. This is also called as different types of selections also. Right? Now coming to the selection test, we have a host of different tests like intelligence test, aptitude test, personality test, achievement, simulation, assessment, geography, polygraph, integrity. I'll explain in brief what are these tests. Intelligence. You know very well what is intelligence. It is a mental ability of the candidate. And intelligence tell us how sharp we are, how dynamic we are, how absorbing we are. So these tests measure the learning ability of the candidate, how quickly we are learning, how quickly we are taking the decision, how quickly we are responding, how dynamic we are. Through these intelligence tests, we came to management is going to come to a conclusion that yes, this person is having a good intelligence of absorbing the things and taking the decisions. Aptitude test. It tests an individual's capacity to learn a particular skill. Aptitude. Most of the aptitude tests we have reasoning test. How quickly we are getting a solution. This is aptitude. Cognitive test, known behavior. like known, cognitive means known things. Cognitive behavior means the intellectual, the mental thinking of a person, the mental capacity of the person. Is he shouting? Is he scolding? Or he's disturbing all the way? Or he's a cool person, emotionally fit person? All these things will be done through. We come to a conclusion through cognitive test. Motor test. Motor test means hand-eye coordination of employees. This test check the hand-eye coordination, like an instrument will be given, a tool will be given to the employee, and he will be asked to do some work with the tool or with the machinery. So how he is working with the machine in motion, or how he is doing the work, how he is moving the hand, how he is moving the eyes. Everything will explain the motor test, whether he is having the knowledge of operating the machines or not. These information the management will get through motor test. Now proficiency test. Most of the proficiency tests like stenographer test, typewriting test, English proficiency test, these tests will be will be designed to measure the skills of the individual. Suppose you went for a stenographer job or a post of a personal secretary. Now they are going to see the proficiency, how fast, how speed, in what speed you are writing the particular version of information given by the management. Your speed of your speed of writing, right? Your speed of typing, your speed of sending messages. Everything will be checked out. They are tested to they are used to test the level of knowledge. Personality test. These tests judge the psychological makeup of any person. These tests check an individual's motivational level. So personality in the sense how we, not by face, but how we are through heart. Whether we are sympathetic or empathetic, or we sensitive, we have the integrity, we are having emotions of other persons, how caring we are, how sharing we are. All these things will be done, will be conducted through personality test. Interest test. Interest means desire, joy. Whether a person is having the interest or not in the job, or doing a particular occupation, or doing a particular skill, performing a particular skill. So whether the person is having interest, desire or joy, these will be identified through interest test. Achievement test. Achievement test. These are designed to measure what the applicant can do on the job currently. Achievement. See, we have a motivational theory, need for achievement, and through this need for achievement, do we have a need? Do we have a desire? Do we think about, yes, we should achieve this, we should conquer this? That you are going to conduct, that organizations will conduct to the candidates in order to identify whether these people are whether these people have a desire to achieving some tasks, some goals or objectives or not. Like just like giving some sample test, sample test or sample work, like that. Simulation. Simulation means like simulation in the sense an alternative work will be created. An alternative, or we can say like a duplicate work, a duplicate machine, a duplicate assembly room will be created, or a duplicate situations or problems will be created, and they are going to check out, they are going to monitor how you are responding to the problems. Originally those problems will not arise, but they will create certain situations will be created before you, and they are going to monitor you how you are responding to the situations, how speed you are doing. Like for example, a fire will be broke out in the industry. So how you are responding? Are you saving yourself? Are you saving the employees? Are you are very alert and going for the signals of alerting the people? And what you are doing at that moment? These are the tests will be conducted through simulation. And graphology test. Graphology test is nothing but handwriting test. Now we know that through handwriting also we can assess what the person's inner mind. Is a left hand writer as a right hand writer, or his words are sloping down or sloping right or stand still. So through that also we can study his mind, we can study his heart also, and his emotional makeup also. And integrity test. Integrity in the sense honesty and predicting those who are more likely to steal from an employer, otherwise act in a manner unacceptable to the organization. Integrity in the sense closeness in the sense how you are associating with your employees, how you are associating with your employer, Are you an acceptable person to the organization or an unacceptable person to the organization? This will be this kind of information you are getting through integrity test. In it, many yes or no type of questions will be asked from the aspirant. Now benefits, there are so many benefits of these tests. As I said, a different question will be asked, a separate question, what are the different types of selection test. For this you need to answer the benefits as well as the limitations also. It tends to eliminate biasness in the selection of personnel. Yes, exactly, you are conducting test, you are just picking out among the people. So when you conduct a test, the best person, the person who best performed, he will be selected. So there is no bias, there is no kind of any regionality, there is no kind of any kith and kin, nothing. Test can identify talents. Obviously, talent of the individual will be identified, and they also reduce the selection cost also. Why I said the selection cost? Why selection cost will be reduced or minimized means, see, after conducting different types of tests, after identifying the person's caliber, the person's attitude, and the person's merit, you are choosing the candidate. So obviously, once you choose such kind of candidate, he will be at your organization and he will performing for your organization's goals. So the selection cost, number of times selecting the candidates will be reduced because you are meritizing or you are prioritizing the merit candidates. And next one is these tests measure the aptitude of the candidates also. Aptitude in the sense how well they are performing the job, how well they are solving the problems, how well their intellectuality is in giving the solutions. So aptitude will tell us, aptitude explains the reasoning mind, the intellectuality of a candidate. So the organization is going to get the aptitude of the candidate, the intelligence of the candidate, and a healthy basis for comparing applicants' background also. It is a health, it is a hygiene process, it is an etiquette to compare it. And coming to the limitations, these tests measure only a part of total information. Just like the advantage, every process, every test, every step will have certain benefits and certain demerits also. Coming to demerits, but the demerits, merits outnumber the demerits. Now, what are the limitations is we are going to get only a part of the information, total information. We are not getting the exact what an employee is having in his mind, we don't get. And these tests are far from perfection. It does not make perfect prediction of an individual ability. How well he will perform at the job, how well he will perform on the task or on the goals, we can't predict. Maybe he will be well at aptitude here, maybe he will be well at intelligence or attitude, etc. But what is his ability of doing exact work, what is his ability of doing exact task, we can't predict now itself. So on these grounds, this test will be criticized. Now next one is, the next step in the process is interview. Selection interview. Interview means nothing but facing the candidate, asking the questions. Interview is nothing but face to face. It is a confrontation. Face to face, both of them, interviewee and interviewer, will sit together and they just confront with each other, right? Interview is the oral examination of the candidates for employment. It's a oral examination. Till now, up to this step, you have been asked to write something or to perform something or to do something. Now it is just interaction, that's all. It's an oral interaction. In this step, the interviewer matches the information obtained about the candidate through various means to the job requirements. So obviously in the interview process, what you do, you have already filled an application plan, blank application form. You have already sent your everything, your information relating to your qualification, age, gender, attitude, aptitude, knowledge, etc., experience, everything. So after having all such kind of information, the interviewer asks questions, right? Now, the next one is, what are the types of interview? Several types of interviews are commonly used depending on the nature of importance of the position. Yes, obviously an IAS officer's interview will be for 3 to 4 hours. A defense colonel or a defense captain's interview will be of different hours. A bank employee's interview is of half an hour. So depending upon the position, depending upon the job, the interview process will be varied. The types of interview, this is also a different questions. Most of the time in the selection we have 3 questions will be raised by the examiner. Among that, this question is also one. And here each and every step I have explained. Each and every interview is also a short question for you. First one is structured interview. As the name suggests, structured. That means already prepared questions will be given to the interviewer, and in advance those questions will be in a paper, and he will start asking those questions. So it is a structured. Unstructured interview, and no questions will be prepared in advance, and no paper will be handed over to the interviewer. Interviewer, as at the time, as he himself, whatever the points he got in his mind, he start telling, he start questioning, right? No prepared questions will be there. Spontaneously he will ask the questions. Whatever comes into the minds of the interviewer, he will ask. Panel interview. Most of the civil servants, most of the administrative officers will be filled through a panel. Even the bank jobs will also be filled through a panel interview. A panel of interviewers will be a panel of interviewers will sit together and they ask the questions, and it is screened by the group of interviewers. Stress interview. Stress interview in the deliberately creates a situation that puts the candidate to a considerable strain. A kind of strain will be created in the minds of the candidate. Frequent interruptions, criticism of candidate's opinion, keeping silence for extended period of time are some of the methods of creating stress. Nowadays, no stress interviews will be conducted for the job holders. Why? Because everything being carried out in a friendly manner, need not necessary that a person should be created some stress or some strain or some mental anxiety should be created among the minds of the aspirants. This is not being focused nowadays. Now, the next one is medical examination. Candidates after having the interview process, after having all these interviews, like we can adopt any of these interviews, right? Any of these interviews are sometimes they might use a combination of like sometimes they are structured, some questions will be posed from the paper which were already prepared, and some questions will be posed as the time whatever the interviewer get in his mind. So depending upon the situation, depending upon the position, depending upon the mindset of the interviewer, the process of interview or the questions of interview will vary, right? Next one is, the next step is medical examination. And coming to medical examination, see, most of the jobs need not necessary to have a medical examination. Medical examination will be carried out for those jobs where critically medical conditions of the aspirant are going to play a critical role, are going to play an important role. Like for example, a railway driver, or a pilot of the aeroplane, or else a particular defense, or else defense, not only defense, but at the same time military or navy or something like that. For these posts, medical examination is a must and should. Medical examinations are a candidate applicant who have crossed the above stages are sent for a physical examination or a medical examination. Even sometimes for a like for a typist or for a stenographer, even they are going to see the eyesight of the candidate also. There are three aims of medical examination. Physical fitness for the job concern, whether the person has physically fit or not for the job, or he is very weak, or he is fatigued. All this information is needed because he is going to hold the company's positions. To protect the business organization for infectious diseases. See, dear student, this point is aptly suitable nowadays because of COVID-19. Nowadays, social distancing we are maintaining. In the coming days, this will also be checked by the organizers whether the person is having any infectious diseases or not. Before getting an employee into the organization, they are going to check out this kind of. They are going to get this kind of information also. To check excessive expenditure on the treatment of employee. So one more objective is to see if the employee is having infectious diseases or some kind of health issues or health problems. Organization has to spend more expenditure, has to put more money. So to reduce that one also, medical examinations will be conducted. And next one is reference check. After medical examination, after getting the information from the medical sources, whose name is the After getting the information from the medical sources that everything is correct, everything given by the information is fit, the person is fit for the job, then he will be, there was a column, that column is called as reference. Now reference means, why means to just know the peers of the candidate, what kind of peer relations the candidate is having, who is his, what is his background, what kind of social relations he having employed with the people of the society, what is kind of character from the college or schools. See, most of the candidates, they will get a certificate from the candidate, from the college or from the professors, that his character is good, he is a satisfactory character, he is the best suitable. Like that, they just give, they just put the signature, they write down 2 or 3 column sentences about the candidate's candidature, right? So the reference is needed in order to see that whether the candidate has having a social clarity, a social relation with the people. Suppose if the candidate is having any kind of indulged with the crime, if the candidate is having any kind of FI was involved in any FIR or something like that. So that information, to get that kind of information, reference checks will be asked. So once we give the reference checks, we put some references of the professors or HODs or managers or people or the peers who are at top positions. These organizations will phone them, will call them, will ask them about your candidature, about the aspirant's candidature. Next one is final selection or appointment letter. So after that, the final stage in the selection process is giving an appointment letter. After successfully clearing the medical examination and after having a reference check, job offer is given to the selected candidate. So he will be asked, he will be told that you were selected. All these things will be, see, selection test will be conducted at one day. Interview, reference checks will be conducted another day. Medical checkup will be conducted another day. But all these things will be done in a sequential order, one by one. See, in sometimes once you approach to interview means you have already done, you have already qualified. 50% of the clarity given to you that you are going to get a job. That is, clarity was given, you have been screened out, you reached a reference check, in the sense once you reach your application to the medical checkup means you are qualified in all the sets, you are qualified in all the tests, you have been eligible for the job. So after going through everything, only after verifying all the candidate, after verifying all the information only, the appointment letter will be circulated, the appointment letter will be handed over to a candidate, right, a selected candidate. For the job offer, appointment letter is handed over. After the acceptance of a job offer by a selected candidate, he become an employee of the organization. So obviously once he select, he will be given an appointment letter. At the same time, in the appointment letter, the details of the appointment, the designation given to him, the payment, the pay scale that was fixed for him, everything was clear, right? Even sometimes in the appointment letter also mentioned, it was also being mentioned there that what kind of training period will be, and how many days of training a candidate has to be entered, and after having the training only, or after having some initial probation period only, he will be get the final selection, or he will be posted in a position like that. Some kind of information will also be provided in the appointment letter. So appointment letter can not only carries the designation, the salary and the position, but at the same time it also it also inform us what is the probation period, what was the training period, training at probation period, what will be the salary package, and if the employee want to leave the organization, what will be the bond, what will be the bondage, what kind of ethical issues to be clarified, everything will be mentioned in the appointment letter. So obviously finally the candidate is selected for the interview for the position, and he was given a selection, he is given an appointment letter that he was selected for the job. So ultimately, in a cool way, the selection process will be conducted. So my dear students, all these are the steps that come under the selection process. All these are most important tests. All these are most important steps while selecting a candidate. So selection is most important step in the total recruitment and selection process. So through this lesson, I have explained this complete selection process. In the next class, I'll go for a next video. Thank you.